Hey coin enthusiasts, have you ever looked at your spare change and thought, could one of these pennies be worth a fortune? Well, hold on to your wallets because today we're diving into a penny that's been known to fetch up to $1.5 million. That's right, folks. The humble 1995 D mint Mark Lincoln Abraham Lincoln penny could make you a millionaire. It's not magic, it's coin history. Let's find out what makes this penny so special and how you can spot one that's worth a small fortune. Before we get started, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm here to help you turn your piggy bank into a treasure chest of valuable coins. And trust me, you won't want to miss the coins coming up in future videos. Now, let's talk about this 1995 D Lincoln penny. At first glance, it looks like any other penny. After all, it's just a small, copper-colored disc, right? But here's the kicker. This penny, if in the right condition, could be worth up to $1.5 million. Sounds like a scam? Well, it's not. So what makes the 1995 D so valuable? Great question. It's all about errors and rarities. The most famous variety of the 1995 D penny is known as the double die obverse penny. This is a rare error where the die used to stamp the coin malfunctioned, causing a double image of Abraham Lincoln's face, the date, and the inscriptions. It might sound crazy, but these double strikes can happen when a coin is stamped more than once with the same die, but with slight misalignment. When you look closely, you'll see Lincoln's face and the date, 1995, appearing twice, one of them faint and the other more prominent. Alright, so now you know about the double die, but how can you spot this penny among the sea of copper and zinc? Here's what to look for. The date. The most noticeable feature is the date, 1995. Look closely, and you'll see two sets of numbers. The second set is often blurry or off-center. Abraham Lincoln's face. Take a magnifying glass to the penny, and you'll notice Lincoln's facial features appear twice, as though he's winking at you. Yes, the president might be giving you a secret handshake from beyond the grave. He's that generous. The inscriptions, words like liberty and in God we trust, are also doubled on the coin. This is the result of the error. If you find a penny with these signs, congratulations. You might be holding on to $1 million piece of U.S. history. Now you might be asking, why on earth would a tiny penny with a printing error be worth so much? Well, it all boils down to rarity and demand. The 1995 D double die obverse penny is super rare. It's believed that only a small number of these errors were actually produced and survived. Additionally, coin collectors love errors. It's like a coin version of finding an Easter egg. The more unusual the mistake, the higher the price. So, a well-preserved 1995 D double die penny can fetch anywhere between a few $1,000s and up to $1.5 million at auction, depending on its condition and whether it has been certified by a reputable grading service. Let's say you find one of these magical pennies in your change jar. How do you know if it's worth all that cash? It's time to get it graded. Grading is basically the process where professionals evaluate a coin's condition, rarity, and authenticity. The most respected grading services are PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, and NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation. To get your penny graded, you can send it to these services, and they'll assess its quality. A penny that's graded as MS65 or higher, that's mint state, and means it's in great condition, will fetch the higher value, and if it's certified as a double die obverse, you're looking at a coin worth a small fortune. You might be looking through your change right now, hoping to find that elusive 1995 D double die penny. I get it. You're probably thinking you've struck gold with every penny you pick up. But don't get discouraged if you don't find one right away. This is a rare error, so it could take some time to come across. Remember, not every 1995 D penny is worth a fortune. You've got to find that double die error. But even if you don't find it, you're still sitting on a ton of valuable coins. Stick with me, and we'll go over more rare pennies in future videos that could be worth serious money. Now that you know what makes the 1995 D Lincoln penny so valuable, let's quickly talk about a couple of other coins you should be on the lookout for. If you're a coin hunter, your treasure hunt doesn't have to stop at the 1995 D. The 1943 steel penny, a penny made of steel? Who knew? Well, some of them are worth up to $500,000. Keep your eyes peeled for that one. The 1969 S double die penny, another era penny that can reach six figures. Looks like the 60s were full of misprints, huh? So next time you're going through your spare change, remember, don't just toss those pennies aside. You could be holding on to a small fortune, especially if that penny is from 1995 with a double die error. Keep hunting, and who knows? Maybe one day you'll cash in on a $1.5 million penny. Alright, coin lovers, that's all for today's treasure hunt. Remember to check those pennies, especially the 1995 Ds, because you might just be holding on to $1 million gem. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on the next coin discovery. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep those pennies safe and your eyes sharper than ever. We're diving into the world of a seemingly ordinary penny, the 2006 D Lincoln penny. Sounds familiar, right? But what if I told you this little copper coin could be worth up to $1.2 million? That's right. It's the kind of penny you'd almost mistake for the guy who always says I'm just here for the snacks at parties. You know, until you realize they're secretly loaded. So buckle up, because we're about to turn your knowledge of pennies into a treasure hunt. Let's start with the basics. 2006 D Lincoln penny. It was minted in Denver, like your classic road trip stop. The D mint mark is so common, it might as well be the John Smith of pennies. But here's the twist. This penny could be worth up to $1.2 million. You're probably thinking, wait, what? It's a penny. It's like the bottom of the coin pile. But hold on. There's more than meets the eye. So why would a humble penny from 2006 be worth more than a small SUV? It all comes down to a rare mistake made during minting. A tiny, subtle error that most people would overlook, and that's where the magic happens. Now, let's talk about the error that turned this penny into a gold mine. It's all about the double die obverse error. Sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, right? But this isn't Star Wars, this is Star Pennies. In simple terms, some 2006 D Lincoln pennies were struck twice with a die, which means the designs, specifically the Liberty and In God We Trust inscriptions, appear doubled. And when I say doubled, I mean really doubled. This gives the coin a blurry, ghostly look that can only be spotted under magnification or a microscope. So, don't go squinting at your change with a magnifying glass unless you're really ready to find some treasure. See that? The doubling on Liberty and In God We Trust? That's the sweet spot. But not all 2006 D pennies have this error. Only a very limited number, so don't go raiding your piggy bank just yet. Alright, so how do you actually find one of these treasure-worthy pennies? It's not as easy as grabbing the first 2006 D you see. Trust me, you don't want to just pick up every penny you find, because most of them are, well, let's face it, just pennies. But here's how you know you've got a winner. Look at the date and the mint mark. If you've got a 2006 D, check the inscriptions Liberty and In God We Trust. Under magnification, you should see that double die effect, blurry, double-stamped letters. If it's not there, well, it's still a penny, but not the kind you can retire on. Now, you're probably wondering, why is this penny so valuable? I mean, it's just a penny, right? Well, in the world of coin collecting, rarity is king. The 2060 Lincoln penny with this double die error is incredibly rare. Less than 20 known examples exist. And as you can imagine, when something's that rare, collectors lose their minds over it. A few pennies are auctioned for a few $1,000s. Some even go for up to $1.2 million. So yeah, it's definitely worth a closer look. Let's talk money. How much is this penny really worth? Well, if you've got one in mint condition, and I mean mint as in no scratches or damage, you could be looking at anything from $100 to a whopping $1.2 million. Yep, that's a lot of change you could be raking in. But of course, condition is everything. A penny that's seen better days isn't going to fetch you millions, but one that's almost untouched could make you a fortune. So, it's worth checking your coin jar and, hey, maybe even your couch cushions. Who knows what you might find. Okay, so you found your 2060 double die obverse penny. What now? Well, don't just sell it to the first guy at the flea market. You want to sell it through reputable auction houses or to serious coin collectors who understand the value of the error. Online platforms like eBay are an option too, but be prepared for a bidding war. You might just get lucky. So, the next time you're scrounging through your change, don't just toss that 2060 penny aside. It might just be your ticket to a seriously fat paycheck. And hey, if it's not, well, at least you've got some solid pocket change for your coffee. Either way, you're winning. Thanks for watching, and remember, the hunt for treasure is always just a penny away. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want more treasure hunting tips and to stay updated on the coolest coins in circulation. We're diving deep into a coin that could be sitting in your pocket right now, just waiting to make you a millionaire. You might have heard rumors about rare pennies worth huge amounts of money, but this one is no myth. We're talking about the elusive 2015 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, and why it could be worth up to $1.5 million. I'm not joking, folks. Stick around. I'm about to drop some serious knowledge on you. Before we get too deep into this rare penny, let's break down a quick coin lesson. Mint marks. They're those little letters on coins that tell you where they were made. A D mint mark means it was made in Denver. An S? San Francisco. And no mint mark? Well, that's the golden ticket we're looking for here. Normally, pennies from 2015 were produced in either Denver or Philadelphia, but one small batch slipped through without a mint mark at all. And guess what? Those no mint mark pennies are worth way more than your average 1-cent coin. So, here's where it gets interesting. Back in 2015, the U.S. Mint was busy cranking out tons of pennies. Most of them came from the Denver Mint, with the D Mint mark stamped on them. But somehow, a small batch was sent out from the Philadelphia Mint without any mint mark at all. Why? That's the million-dollar question. Some say it was an accidental omission, a minting error perhaps. Others believe it might have been a special, limited run. Either way, it's a mistake that's led to some serious dollar signs for those who found them. Now let's talk money. You might be thinking, what's so special about a little penny? I've got a jar of these things at home. And that's exactly the point. Most pennies, even older ones, are worth only a few cents. But the 2015 no mint mark pennies? They can fetch anywhere between $500 to $1.5 million if they're in mint condition and are graded properly. Why such a wide range, you ask? Well, it all depends on the coin's condition. You see, the higher the grade, meaning how crisp, clean, and perfect it is, the higher the value. Coins that are graded in mint condition, with no scratches, wear, or tarnish, are the ones that fetch the highest prices. Some lucky collectors have sold these rare pennies for a cool $1.5 million at auction. And trust me, that's not some I found a penny on the street story. It's a legit big deal. Alright, so how do you find one of these golden nuggets? First, you're going to need a magnifying glass. Or maybe just some good old-fashioned eyesight. Here's how you can spot one. Make sure it's from 2015. If it's from 2014, or heaven forbid 2016, you're out of luck. There should be absolutely no mint mark on the reverse side of the coin. If there's a D or S, you've got a regular penny. The better the condition, the more it's worth. So make sure it doesn't look like you used it to scrape gum off your shoe. So what if you just found one of these rare 2015 pennies with no mint mark? First off, congratulations. But before you start imagining all the luxury items you'll buy with your newfound fortune, hold on. Here's what you should do next. I know. You're looking at it and thinking, but I can buy like 10,000 candy bars with this. Resist the temptation. If you think you've got a winner, take it to a professional coin grading service. They'll assess its condition, and if it's in prime shape, you could be looking at a serious payday. If you decide to cash out, make sure you do it through a reputable auction or dealer to get the best value. But hey, if you want to keep it as a prized possession, that's not a bad choice either. So there you have it, folks. The 2015 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, a coin that's worth a ridiculous amount of money, especially if it's in great condition. Who knew that one tiny mistake from the US Mint could make a regular penny worth more than some people's cars? And if you've got one of these sitting in your collection, well, you might just be holding on to a ticket to the $1 Million Club. Keep those eyes peeled, because you never know what treasure you've got hiding in your pocket. Thanks for tuning in, folks. If you enjoyed this wild coin adventure, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more awesome coin content, and don't forget to ring the bell so you never miss out on more I can't believe this is worth that much stories. Now, get out there and start searching your pennies. Who knows? You might just find your own $1.5 million gem. We're diving into why this tiny copper coin could be worth up to $1.2 million. You won't want to miss this. Now, I know what you're thinking. A penny? Really? What's so special about a penny? Well, my friend, this isn't just any penny. We're talking about a rare find that could make your piggy bank explode. Trust me, you're about to look at those pennies in your jar a whole lot differently. Okay, let's backtrack a bit. In 2017, something very unique happened with the Lincoln penny. For the first time since the 1940s, the U.S. Mint decided to include a P mint mark. That's right, P as in Philadelphia, on pennies. Normally, pennies don't have mint marks unless they're from specific mints, like Denver, D, or San Francisco, S, but in 2017, all of a sudden, the Philly Mint got a shout-out. And if you're lucky enough to find one of these in your change, congratulations, you're holding a rare coin. Now, let's talk rarity. The 2017 P penny wasn't widely released into circulation. In fact, it was only produced in large numbers to honor the 225th anniversary of the U.S. Mint. But here's the catch. Many people didn't even notice it because it's easy to miss a tiny mint mark on a small penny. It wasn't like the fancy new quarters or dollar coins that made headlines. So people were just spending these things without thinking twice. Meanwhile, smart collectors were quietly flipping out. Why? Because while millions of regular 2017 pennies were made, those with the P mint mark were much rarer than people realized. Let me throw some numbers at you. The 2017 P pennies were produced in much smaller numbers compared to other years. You see, the U.S. Mint didn't print these with the same frequency, which instantly gives them rarity. But the real kicker is that there's a huge demand for these coins from collectors and investors alike. Why? Well, it's all about the P mint mark. It's like finding a hidden gem in a sea of pennies, except this gem could be worth a lot of money. Here's the thing. Collectors know that rare coins like these can skyrocket in value, especially when they're in pristine condition. If you happen to have one in mint condition, uncirculated, you could be looking at a value of $1.2 million. Yeah, you heard me. For a penny. It's basically like finding the golden ticket in Willy Wonka's factory, except the chocolate's replaced by, well, a coin. Now, before you start rushing to check every single penny in your jar, don't get too excited. Not every 2017 penny is worth $1 million. If you're holding a rusty, scratched up penny from your childhood piggy bank, well, that's not going to make you rich. We're talking about coins that are in mint condition, meaning they've been kept in perfect shape with no wear, scratches, or discoloration. You can imagine a coin like this one being treated like a precious jewel by collectors, stored in a climate-controlled vault, never seeing the light of day except for when it's being appraised. That's the condition you need to look for. But wait, there's more! Even if your penny is in circulated condition, it can still fetch a nice chunk of change. While the $1 million mark is for the absolute perfect specimens, you might still be looking at hundreds or even thousands of dollars for a well-kept, regular circulated 2017 penny. So, if you've got one of these, don't just throw it back in the jar with all the other common coins. Now, how do you know if your penny is valuable? First off, check for the mint mark. It should be a P. That's Philadelphia, folks. If you see a D or no mint mark at all, you're not dealing with the 2017 version that we're talking about here. And once you've identified it, look at the condition. The more pristine, the more valuable. Okay, I know what you're thinking. How do I get one of these pennies if I don't have one already? Well, the good news is that even though they're rare, they are out there. Your best bet is to check your pocket change, or even buy rolls of pennies from the bank. You never know when you'll get lucky. And if you don't find one today, don't give up. People all around the country are still finding these 2017 pennies, so keep your eyes peeled. Who knows, you could be the next person to strike gold, or should I say, strike copper. All right, folks, there you have it. The 2017 mint mark Lincoln penny that could be worth up to $1.2 million. It's a tiny coin with big potential. So, get out there and start checking your change. Your next $1 million find could be just a penny away. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss any more awesome coin tips. Catch you next time, and happy hunting!